back to the channel and to another unboxing. I've already opened this box. It's an exterior box. It's okay. This is from I got this from Panel Bound Comics. So shout out to Panel Bound Comics, and you're welcome to check them out. But I it said it had a request for packaging. What kind of packaging? I said bubble wrap. The, that's what I was expecting. It came with a lot of peanuts and the bubble wrap, so extra packing. So good job on the packing. Um, I'll slide that away, and there's extra little piece of cardboard in there. So that's awesome. And we got the little all of that. So let's see what we got here. Not like let's see what we got because we know what we got. In fact, before I talk about this and pull this out, ooh, let's see here. This is interesting. Well, anyway, it's in this nice form-fitting box that they would, I'm sure, get like a wholesale kind of thing. You don't even see the product necessarily. Now, before we throw that out there, I got this a little while ago and was hesitating to try to figure out how to show it to you. But I'm going to do it today. I was going to do it just, I think I may have even shown it, but I can't remember now. One of these videos, but this is Death of Superman Absolute Edition. I think I may be backwards. Let me see if I can correct this here. Bear with me if I'm backwards, and now I'm not backwards. So there we go. Death of Superman Absolute Edition. The Doomsday got a Superman. All that. This is still in the packaging, so it's got all of that. Now, yeah, big old box for it. I'm gonna set this aside because I intend to keep that there in the wrapper. This box that you saw is the insides. Um, Outside of uh, the wrapper thing. Let's see. There we go. Now you could see somebody else open up the Tombstone edition, and they'll pull out this same thing on the inside. I haven't rewatched that recently, but that's how I recall it. And let me set aside. This is a nice and sturdy box. It's got all of that. Very very good. I like that. I hope all kinds of things arrive in packaging of that nature to keep them taken care of. We'll get rid of that bubble wrap, and then we'll go to the opening up of this, and you get the band around it, and of course the cellophane or plastic wrap. Because what is cellophane? I mean, as far as technically, years ago, it's an old thing, right? And we now do plastic wrap. But anyway, I'm digressing. Take that, get rid of it. Like for things to stay in trash. Now this is pretty cool. I'm gonna take this slip off of it. Even the slip is nice, a nice texture to it. It's not just, you know, a piece. It's very interesting. That's very cool. Yeah, very cool. Alright, so I'm going to set that aside there. And now, seeing this has the cellophane around it also. Not the white side. So, this side with the red, not the white side of it. Now, let's go ahead and pull this open. Oh, a little bit hesitant, that's all. Let's see here. Say, you got a second one? Yes, I got this second one so that I could open it up and look inside and everything. which I wasn't going to do with the Tombstone edition. I might, but I don't know. All right, now this is the box again. Nice um, slip case, uh, slightly raised on that, but em- what do you call that? It's a shininess to it. Uh, Death of Superman Absolute Edition on this. There we go. DC, and so forth. So you got all that. That's figurable. All right. So this is the book. We're gonna set this aside up here where I can get to it in a moment, and we have to open this thing up. So save for Lois Chief. Okay. Press archives. So the card kind of slipped its way out. So okay, it's in a little box. Just make sure there's no tape holding them shut. And open that up. Oh, we got some stuff slipping out. That looks like some stickers. So I can, I can use that. All right, now this Doomsday, the Tombstone card. They put a. For those of you who don't know, back when this was done, um, it came in a black wrapped bag, right? Um, which a lot of people say there's so many out there that it's very cheap. You go looking online at eBay and everything else, there's a lot of people that want more out of it than a comic book shop typically would charge you for it, for an original copy, still in the plastic wrap, because many people bought many copies and there's just so many copies out there. But anyway, they also have a foil version of that black cover or black wrapped thing, and they had a Tombstone edition of it as well. So it looks something like that, the plastic cover. All right, now I'm gonna try to slip this out gently and carefully. All right. Oh yeah, one of those things back in the day. This reminds me of some stuff. They had the armbands, so that's pretty neat. Commemorative armband, if you will, now. But it would go, you know, around the arm. Um, I don't remember it very well, so don't forgive me for any of that lack of understanding there. But anyway, oh, certificate of death for Kal-El. No known social security number, etc. Oh, they've got uh, call it the funeral bulletin. Um, all right. So that's interesting. And then some. Okay, like a copy of the obituary. Still, like I said, very cool. That's that's a full article. I'll have to read that one. All right, and then something here. Now this is. I remember they called it a recreation or reprint of the News Time. Um, the Life and Death of Man of Steel, World Without Superman. May 1993. Hmm. See, I have to learn more about some of this stuff, but yeah. I mean, I remember getting it, and of course, opened my package This is just a piece of cardboard to keep it sturdy. So, let's make sure nope, nothing else in there. And we'll open this up. It's a poster for the death of Superman funeral. That's very cool. Have to get that either staying in the package, all nice and smooth, neat, or find a place to put it on the wall, and then we'll do that. Alright, some stickers in that card. Just interesting. I'm just curious about the card. It says prototype. Interesting. Okay. And some of you may know the whole history of that. I've watched some videos and stuff like that. There's plenty for me to learn, and trying to keep all that in the box. That's all. All right. Close that box back up. And again, hopefully, really quickly here. We're not going to take a long time. Just open this up. Show you a little of the inside here. And this is pretty cool. So I've already seen this. The dust jacket is a red. It's a cape material. Cape materials. It's a cloth material. Okay. And it's got tears in it. Of course, the Superman emblem. All of this is textured and stuff that exists. So this is, not actually torn. It's cut to tear, of course. But let me take it off of there so that I can dive into this a little bit. But yeah, that's not just paper. Although there may be a paper backing to it, there's cloth to that in some way. All right. So here's the cover. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see here. Now that's Doomsday standing over Superman, of course. So very interesting. And it opens up. If you've got a copy of like the Death of Superman, this is kind of what I'm seeing on the outside and inside of the hardcover editions. So it's got kind of an introduction and then goes into the larger form of the comic book. Absolute edition, So yeah, all very big, all leading up to, spoiler alert, the death of Superman. And of course it lays out just like it did in the comics. Yeah. It's very neat. And closes with that death. That one, the Tombstone version of the comic or cover. Then the legend continues: world without Superman, funeral for a friend. And then, of course, he comes back. But got all these, storyboards and stuff. This is going to be really interesting to just go through the evolution of Doomsday. Doomsday, first drawing. Oh, that was pretty cool. I think that's my first sketch. Something like that anyway. Alright, and then it's got the sketch. Something. So I'll have to look into this more to see exactly what it is. It's just parts of it, I think, I assume. And then you got dialogue script. some other really cool making of stuff for this. Boxes, okay. Yep, yep. Lots of good art stuff. This, um, I have to look at all that. Oh, these are some cards of some sort, which I don't remember them, but I think I heard somebody talking about them too. So yeah. Anyway, some other good artwork in here toward the end and stuff like that. Um, some other people have laid it out just as much or more than I just did. And of course, I've unboxed the Tombstone. I'm doing it just to keep it preserved, just to leave it in there preserved, not for any other particular reason. Um, and let me get this back on here. We'll close this up. Alright. Absolute Edition. And I don't know how many Absolute Editions of things I'm going to get. This is just one of those. During my lifetime, that was a major thing for me. Major part of my history. Who knows, it may be of no interest to anyone else, but hopefully it does interest you. It's pretty cool, that Absolute Edition. If you want to get a copy of these panel-bound comics, you can try there. Some lightly used copies available on eBay and things like that. Arena Comics in my area can get it. So can uh, uh, Comics Emporium. So if you're in my area, or if you want to just look up Arena Comics, also Midtown Comics, things like that. And it's available in a lot of other places, in a lot of other ways. But let's see here. But yeah, that's it's right at about $100 right now. So I think that's the retail, or the retail is 115 or something maybe. From what I'm looking at on the ISBN, it's 9999, so it's $99.99. Should be typically. Once it, of course, sells out, then people will be taking advantage of that. Now, if you see one for $200, I suggest trying to get in touch with the comic book shop and just saying, "Hey, I'm looking for the Death of Superman Absolute Edition." And there you go. That's it for now. And that's all I got for that. Of course, like I said, the Tombstone. Very cool Tombstone. If you can get a copy of it. I will tell you that it's this here inside a box that's this Tombstone. So it's not a lot of extra stuff. Uh, you know what I mean? There's not more extras to be gotten. There's that inside of it. So, but yeah, that's what we got. Um, if you can find it, and you feel like you can afford it and want to keep it, that's your, that's what you want to do. It's pretty cool. And I'm gonna set it somewhere in a good space, and then enjoy it from a distance. I'm gonna read through this one though, or at least go through it with all the extras. The extras are the thing that's all about. There's half of the book is extras and nostalgia stuff for me, and I'm gonna go and find a YouTube video on the whole story and watch it again and stuff like that. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, you can like it and give me a comment below. Tell me what you were doing at that time, or if you were even around But anyway, um, yep, the death of Superman. All right, so we'll see you again in the next video. Bye.